In this video, we let you know what it's like to live with a Skoda Fabia Mark III Estate. So, back in 2018, myself and my wife were looking for a brand new car to replace our Vauxhall Astra. Contenders at the time were a Dacia Logan MCV and a Fiat Tipo and a Skoda. But these were quickly ruled out. One, the Dacia Logan MCV we thought was too big, lengthwise, and the Fiat we ruled out because I was having problems with a problematic steel or barf. So we quickly hit on a Skoda, and we've had Skodas in the past. We've had a Mark I Fabia VRS and a Mark II Fabia Estate. So we ended up doing that. We ended up going down to our Skoda dealer where we were looking at pre-registered Fabias. We also looked at Yetis, but Yetis were out of price range. And we looked at the pre-registered Fabia Estates. And we were looking at the pre-registered ones were just poverty spec ones, S models. But there was a saving about 14,000. It was £14,000 brand new, and you were saving about £4,000. So all's well and that. So we inquired about, and it turned out that we could purchase a brand new Fabia imported in from Germany, cheaper than what a pre-registered one was. Go figure. So we settled on that. We settled on a Pacific Blue Fabia MPI Estate, 1 litre, 3-cylinder. And we also optioned up parking sensors. We could have got an SE model, but the SE model worked out about another £80 extra a month just to have just because it had parking sensors that we wanted. But the dealer retrofitted the parking sensors, so that was fine. So fast forward a week later, we got the registration documents through. I was told to come down to the dealership just to hand in documents like the tax and MOT the car, and we went down, and the salesman at the time went, "Oh, your car's round the back. I know you're not picking up the Monday because we've still got to fit the parking sensors." So we brought it round and we managed to get a good look at the car before we even bought it. So that was good. Fast forward another couple of days, and I picked the car up on a Monday evening. It was dark, it was cold, and the next again day it snowed. And I can tell you that was a fun drive back from work that fall one day in a car you didn't really know. Yeah, so just taking up even routes I know, just because the main roads were quite bad. I think taking up quiet streets, and yeah, the car managed to get back. What was normally a 10-minute journey took me nearly an hour to get home that day, just due to the weather conditions. So I just thought, film this wee video. It's now 3 years old. We've had this car for 3 years. Normally, if you watch any of my videos on this channel, I change my cars quite frequently. You've seen the Mini, you've seen the Volvo, and now we've got the Qashqai. But this car is a keeper. I didn't think I'd own it for 3 years. I thought maybe 2.5, maybe late 2.5 years, something like that. Get rid of it before its first MOT. But lockdown put paid to that as well. So I just thought I'd do a quick wee video, tell you what it's like to live after 3 years. So this is a poverty spec edition, the S model. It's not poverty. You get a digital radio, you get electric mirrors, heated electric mirrors, electric windows, and you get a digital radio, and you don't get air conditioning. That's the only thing I've not had in a car for years, is a car with no air conditioning. So you don't get air conditioning in this model. You get the 1 litre MPI, which is a 74 brake horsepower unit, and that's quite a good wee engine. It's very economical. On a long journey, you're looking at about high 50s, 52, 55. Around the town, mixed driving, you're looking at about 42, 45. Around the town, high 30s. This car spends half its time on the school run, taking the kids to and from school and nursery. What's it when you like to live with? It's had no faults at all in this car. It starts every time. Starts every time on the key. The only faults we've had is the dealer damaging the car. With problems with parking sensors. At the start of our adventure with a Skoda, it went back to dealership. The dealership fixed them, put the car through an automatic car wash, and scratched the bumper again, scratched the doors, and had to go back to the body shop. Had to go back to the body shop again, where in the body shop it was damaged by a car door, so I had to go back again. So it got off to a bad start for a wee while. For about a week we were running around in a Seat Tornado, and the second time we were running around in a Skoda Citigo. Now go figure it. This is a family car, and you give me a Citigo. Yeah, it's been as I said, it's been economical. It starts on the key, and we've only covered 13,000 miles in this car, just because it's used as a school run car. Does get the occasional run out. So back in 2018, this car was slightly modified. I had it running around on 17-inch Skoda VRS alloys from Mark II Fabia. Car's been lowered, and it's also got a K&N filter. But once I decided, once I got my own car, I converted the car back to standard. So the only modifications that are left in the car are a filter and the filter and the springs. But apart from that, the car's been very reliable. For a family car, it copes quite well. It's got enough space for 5 adults. We've got 2 child seats in this, so that basically makes it a 4-seater. My only complaint, it's not really to do with Skoda, is that when the child seats are in, there's not enough room, leg room in the cabin. Sometimes your knees can be on the dashboard depending on what car seat's in. But that's my only complaint with the car. It's been well looked after, this car. I mean, I'll check the oil, tyres every couple of weeks. Check the fluid levels, top it up when necessary. So this leads me on to its first MOT. And as you can see, it failed its first MOT. And that's because I am an idiot. Back in 2018, I upgraded the headlight bulbs, and I also, for some reason, had these fancy wee remote controlled side lights. You could control colours. And when I was changing the bulbs over again, I lost a clip that held the headlight bulb in, and which basically meant I couldn't find it. It went in an abyss somewhere, and I ended up gluing the headlight bulb in to the headlight unit. Now that's not a problem, you would think, but no, I'd forgotten all about it until its first MOT, where it failed, for the beam was totally out, and when the dealership pulled the bulb out, they realised that the service agent pulled the bulb out, they realised it had been glued in. So what have I learnt in that one? Well, it cost me a new headlight unit on the right hand side of the car, because I am an idiot. So let that be a lesson to you. If you're doing a, don't try and bodge a job. Which leads me on to the cost of how much has it cost us over 3 years to run this car. Well, including modifications, tax, fuel, insurance, servicing, and a new headlight, it has cost us £4,877 over 3 years. If I hadn't thingied the headlight, you'd have been looking at maybe £4,600 over 3 years. And as I said, it's for modifications and all the essentials. So it's not been too bad to run. I mean, last year it was really cheap year to run due to lockdown. Last year it just cost us over £1,000 to run last year. Yeah, and the year before was the same, just over £1,000. So to run this car, fuel, tax and insurance, you're looking at about £1,000 a year. So, would I buy another Skoda? Well, this is a hard question. Yeah, I would buy another Skoda, but I really want to keep this car. It's been reliable and the mileage is low. But do I want to replace it? I'm not going to replace it anytime soon. We would probably be looking to replace it just before the turn of the year 2022. It's unusual for me to keep a car longer, as I said, longer than 3 years. But this car has been faultless. It'll be one of these cars that I will genuinely miss when we come to sell it. I'm not sure what we're going to replace it with. My heart says just get another Skoda, but maybe we're potentially looking for something cheaper to run. So that's just a quick wee video. What it's like to run a Skoda Fabia for 3 years. It's been a good 3 years. It's been a reliable 3 years, and don't let anybody put you off with a badge. And Skodas are brilliant cars. Very reliable, very economical, and I would have another one in a heartbeat. But we've just got to see what our costs are going to be like later in the year, and see how lockdown poses us to go and have a look at cars. It's going to be a strange year, I can guess. But I hope you found this video helpful on the Skoda Fabia, what it's like to live with for 3 years. Don't forget to like and subscribe at Scottish Car Enthusiasts TV. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. But for a moment, this idiot, who will not be allowed to touch another headlight bulb in this car, is going to bid you a farewell.